Hey guys, it's Amy with Table Flipping Housewife. I'm pleased you joined me today. I'm actually spending the afternoon down in the basement in my workspace trying to organize and make sense of the space. And it's weird, I don't know if you've ever done this before, but have you had a piece of furniture so long that you forget you had it? But yet you wonder one day, what is this thing I keep having to walk around? Yep, that was this one. Now, I have no idea when or where I got this. That's how long I've had it. It's incredibly dated. I think I'm going to do a very, very simple flip on this. I'm going to clean it up first, sand it down to raw wood, and then do something very simple and just see if it sells. And if it doesn't, I'll offer it to one of the boys. Or put it in a garage sale. I don't know, but I'm getting this out of my workspace. So let's get started. Today I'm using Krud Kutter, which is a pre-paint cleaner. This is a version of it that the directions say you don't have to rinse it off after you're finished with clean water, but I like to do that anyway. And you might be wondering, why is it that I am cleaning something I'm just going to be sanding anyway? And it's very important you do so, because you don't want to, with the sandpaper, grind in any dirt, oil, wax, yucky residue into the wood. And you can do that if you start sanding dirty furniture. So I'm cleaning it up, I'll let it dry, and then I'll be sanding. Change of plans. I thought this would be easier to sand really, really quick. I thought I'd get through the finish quickly. But I've gone down to an 80 grit, and it's still going to be a little bit of work. Let me give this a try on here too. Oh yeah. I'm going to start again with the 80, then I'll go to 150, and then 220. The top surface is done, so I'm going to start doing the sides of the table as well as the legs. And what I'm going to do, since there's so much detail to the legs and the side has a shape to it, I'm going to take this regular sand pad off, and I'm going to add this foam abrasive pad of Surfpreps. You can buy these for your sander at home. Even if you have a rotary sander, you'll just have to get a round one. So check out their website if you're interested. But I'm going to put this on because I want to be able to scuff sand the legs as well with 220 so that I can prep them for painting. So let's turn on my shop vac. Let me get my mask on. The legs and the apron have been sanded, scuff sanded, and wiped off. So I set out to start painting the base of the table with Valspar's cabinet and furniture paint in Caviar. You've seen me use this paint and this particular color a lot. I just wanted a black base, so I grabbed what I had. This paint has a built-in primer and top coat, which I think is sufficient for this project. I'm also not worried about bleed through since I'm putting on black. So the built-in properties of this paint will be sufficient. to protect what I'm painting. Now I did go ahead and put on 2 coats.
I measured several times and made several adjustments until I was sure that the largest piece of masking tape was centered as best as possible. Next, I started adding another strip of tape on both sides of that one. And next to it, I will add another strip of tape. The one I'm putting down right now is simply to make sure that I'm leaving the same amount of space free of paint. It'll make sense when I start removing the paint. You'll see that what's left when I'm finished taping is what will be painted black. I recycled that piece of tape to put on the other side. Again, that's just to ensure that my stripes are straight. I'm just using the edge of the tape as a guide. Now, as I was pulling that one off, I realized that the outer stripes were going to be too thick. So I applied another layer of tape on both sides just to make sure that the outside lines would be much thinner.
So what I'm doing now is I'm painting the stripes with a matte polyurethane. It really doesn't matter if it's matte, semi-gloss. You could even use Mod Podge for this. What I'm doing is I'm painting where the black will go so that in the event anything leaks under that tape, it will be the polyurethane, the clear polyurethane, not the black paint. I'm definitely just going to paint this way, not that way. I don't want it to slip under in case the poly didn't seal it correctly. Okay. I'm getting good coverage since I painted with the poly, so hopefully I can get away with just 1 coat, and I can peel up the paint or the tape before the paint dries. Not bad, guys. That looks good. Now, before I sealed the table with poly, I knew I needed to apply a paint wash first so that it would act as a barrier. Otherwise, the polyurethane would bring out the orangey pinky tones of the wood. So I mixed 1 part Fusion paint in eucalyptus with 4 parts water and brushed it onto the table after I had misted the table with water. You mist it so that the paint wash doesn't dry too quickly. Once I had it all brushed on, I wiped it off with a paper towel, and you'll see that it's now a very naturally muted wood tone. Now
with that barrier, I can apply a poly for a top coat.
So don't do an Amy. If you're planning on doing a grain sack stripe on a table, then wait until the table has already been given its whitewash and top coat. Then apply the black stripe, not the other way around. Completely. I will re-tape it just the same way you saw me tape it before, and I'll touch up the black because I do want the black to still be very bold.
After the black stripes were touched up and that paint had dried, I sealed the table with 3 coats of polyurethane in a matte finish.